Part two of today's Local 6 Legal Line, and it's Joe Roark answering your questions regarding divorce at 1-888-208-6946. We have a question from Emily who says, I'm trying to get custody of my children. Can I use what would be termed a questionable post by my husband on Instagram as evidence in a hearing?
Sure. Yeah, if it was made by him, there's some foundation rules that you'd have to show that he was the one, in fact, that made it and it was his account. But yeah, anything like that that goes to a state of mind or goes to a question of are you a responsible person and safe with kids, then sure, you can use that. You know, courts understand that people kind of sometimes sound off and say silly and dumb things online or in social media and sometimes just in conversation. But absolutely, it's admissible. You can use it.
I have a question that I think kind of goes back to some of what we talked about a moment ago. Are you comfortable answering the misdemeanor thing? Well, we have someone who says, I just moved to Paducah, have a DUI and misdemeanors on my record from 20 years ago. It's preventing me from getting a driver's license. Can that be removed since it's more than 20 years?
The misdemeanors almost certainly can be. The DUI is a little less certain. There's only one way really to find out about that. And again, Emily would know for sure whether or not that would be the case. But I think at this point, probably if you just fill out that application for the background check and for the application for expungement, they'll be able to tell you right out of the gate whether or not those can be expunged. And again, the DUI is the one that's going to be nettlesome. And even if it's expunged, you know, there may have been some conditions that you were supposed to have met, and maybe that's what's keeping you from getting a new license, because just having a DUI doesn't typically prevent you from getting a new driver's license on down the line, certainly not 20 years later, unless there's something you didn't do that you were supposed to in order to get your license back.
Our next question comes from Jacob, and he says, I have restricted visitation with my children. However, I've been through rehab and I'm doing well. Can I go back to court and talk to my spouse and the judge about having the visitation changed? I'm guessing he's wanting more time with his kids.
Yeah, sure. Yes, time sharing with kids is always modifiable. There isn't any time limit on when you can file a motion to modify that. So if there has been a change of circumstances and you feel like it's now in the children's best interest for you to have some extended visitation with them, or maybe with fewer restrictions, you can certainly file a motion and ask for that. It will not change until you file a motion and ask for it. And even if you file that motion, the judge may not agree with it, but certainly you can ask for that. And what you'd want to have is all the proof of what you've done, and have hopefully an extended period showing that you're safe and responsible and that you are okay for the kids, and that the restrictions or the limitation on your time is no longer really justified, since you've made a lot of progress since last you were there in court.
Got about 30 seconds left, so perhaps a short answer on this one, but someone says they lost their job because of the tornadoes. Can they have the amount of their child support reduced?
Maybe. It depends. What happens with child support modifications is that you have to have an ongoing and substantial change in your income. It can't just be a one-shot thing, and obviously you've lost your income through no fault of your own, but the question in that would be, is it an ongoing proposition? To say, are you going to be able to get another job or get that same job back anytime in the near future? That would be the question, and so file a motion and ask for it. That's the best thing you can do.
Emily Roark and Joe Roark, our guests today on this edition of Local 6 Legal Line. They're from the Bryant Law Center, Paducah and Louisville. If you would like to review either one of these segments, you can do so shortly. Look under the Bryant Law Center icon under Legal Line at WPSD Local 6.